If you think you have any idea what pageant girls are like, I really promise you that you don't. I was Miss New York 2012, and I'm gonna give you some behind the scenes deets today while we do Talk Tidy Tune. If you are new here and you don't know what Talk Tidy Tune is, let me fill you in real fast. So my account is all about helping you declutter and tidy and keep a home that feels really manageable. And I have a series called Talk Tidy Tune where we chat about something that's really nothing to do with decluttering, but just like pretend we're old friends while I tidy a space that clearly needs to be tidied in my house, as you can see. After just a few minutes of that, then I'm gonna sing you a song because I used to be a professional vocalist, and this is just a fun little outlet for me to be able to sing again while you watch me declutter or tidy a space, hopefully to get some motivation. So that's Talk Tidy Tune, and today's subject of the talk portion is pageantry. Ooh, I should go get my crown and sash, my Miss New York crown and sash, you know, because you need receipts. There she is, Miss America. All right, this is my Miss New York crown and sash. Should I take it out? Do you guys care? This is the crown. It would be bobby pinned on my head. Did I put that on right? Gotta remember, where's the front? Oh, there's the front, the one with one jewel. It's been many moons since I've put this on. And Miss New York. Funny story, my sash is wrong. It says 2013. I was actually Miss New York 2012. And I'm gonna tell you the story as to why my sash is wrong because it's a bit confusing. Alrighty, let's see. Where to begin? So just so you guys know, I was not like a pageant patty, toddlers and tiara kind of a girl. I was a singer from a young age. My mom kind of recognized that talent in me. And so we did musical theater and I was in voice lessons, and a musical theater mom was like, hey, Shannon, have you ever done pageants? Like you could win scholarship money and you sing, so you'd probably like do well with the talent portion. And so I was like, I'll give it a go when I was maybe 13. So I did that first pageant and I won a boom box, which was really exciting because I won the pageant and I won the talent portion. And I was like, well, that was really fun. I want to do that again. And so started my little pageant journey. In high school, I did my high school pageant, Miss Cox. This is a dirty shirt. Miss COX. Yeah, you can imagine the jokes there. I digress. So Miss Cox High School. And one of the judges for Miss Cox, all right, I need to make a toys pile, trash, friendship bracelet, keep. Okay, sorry. It's harder than it looks to be able to concentrate on what I'm doing and also talk to you. Anywho, one of the judges for Miss Cox ran the Miss Virginia Beach organization, and Miss Virginia Beach is a local that goes to Miss America, and so, or Miss Virginia, which then goes to Miss America. So she was like, hey, will you compete in Miss Teen Virginia Beach? Because I think you would do well. And I was like, yeah, sure. And so that's how I got pulled in to that. So then I did Miss Teen Virginia Beach. I won. I was Miss Teen Virginia Beach. And then a couple years later, I competed for Miss Virginia Beach. Look, a note from my 6-year-old says, you're nice. We're going to pretend that was to me. I hope it was for me. So I was 18 or 19. I did Miss Virginia Beach. I won. I then went to Miss Virginia and I made the top 10. And that was so much fun. So obviously I caught the bug and I wanted to do it again. And I learned that Miss Virginia was like this full-time job. And so I really wanted a full-time job. I ended up taking a year off and I worked as a singer at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg that summer instead of competing for Miss Virginia again. So it was 2 years later that I went back to Miss Virginia. I got close. I was third runner-up. I made the top 5. I was like, okay, this could actually happen. I could actually win this if I came back and did it one more year. So I graduated college, did it another year, same placement, third runner-up. So I was like, I'm not going to put my life on hold and stay here in Virginia just to do a pageant next year. So I decided to go on my merry way up to New York, where I was going to pursue Broadway and singing. I actually moved up there with one of my friends who was Miss Greater Richmond in Virginia, and she wanted to move to New York too. And so we had met through Miss Virginia and said, let's go together. So that goes to show these girls became my real friends. There was no cattiness, at least not the girls that I hung out with. And they're incredibly smart because Miss America is different than Miss USA. By the way, Miss USA girls are smart too, for the record. Many of them are. But it's a scholarship program, so you have like a private interview with the judges that is not seen by the audience. That's 10 minutes, all about political, like current events, your personal platform. Mine was cultural togetherness. It's like a press conference. So it's pretty intense because they want to get to know you and your speaking abilities. And then you do the onstage portion. You have to be very eloquent, well-spoken, and driven because they really look into the girls who are making a difference in their communities, doing well in school. You have to be in college in order to compete, at least back then you did. The age range was between 18 or 17 and 24. And what you won is scholarship money. So it's not cash. So you need to be able to use that for education. So it was all very academically and educationally driven. Anywho, love the girls. I'm not going to keep these Minecraft stickers. Sorry, son. Moved to New York. I had no plan to compete for Miss New York, but I ended up competing because I got to know the girls in the Miss New York organization. Just like we were mutual friends with girls from Miss Virginia who told us to hang out, so we did. And they convinced me that I should compete with them in Miss New York. And I was like, whatever, it's my last year of eligibility. I will do that. Hold on, I'm going to go put these in the craft closet. So kind of on a whim, I competed for my local. So it goes local, state, and then national. So my local was Miss, what was I called? Miss Metropolitan. Anyways, so I won my local and then went to Miss New York. But during that time between my local, actually right before my local, my mom was diagnosed with bladder cancer. And so suddenly my priorities shifted and I really didn't do anything to prepare for that pageant. So I felt very honored and fortunate that I did make the top 10 at Miss New York. And then my good friend, Mallory Hagan, she was like the reason I had decided to compete in Miss New York, She won Miss New York. And 6 months later, she went to compete for Miss America and won Miss America, okay? So then they needed like a replacement Miss New York to do all the appearances. It wasn't a full-time job like Miss Virginia. Each state does it differently. But they needed someone to do all the appearances until the next Miss New York pageant while Mallory was off being Miss America. Long story short, it came to me and I was like, well, I'll do it. Why the heck not? I mean, it had been a very difficult couple months. So the pageant was in July, Miss New York. My mom died in September and Mallory won Miss America in January. So it obviously was a very hard time in life, and I thought this could be a really cool distraction. It also just felt like my mom had gone to heaven and pulled the strings to make this dream come true. So I spent 6 months as Miss New York, and my primary job was doing a school tour where I did assemblies in middle and high schools and some elementary schools as well, talking about cultural togetherness. And then I also did like red carpet appearances. Hold on, I'm gonna put this away. And I was like on Fox News as a talking head on the Hannity show. No political affiliation, but they just wanted me to come talk about some controversial Super Bowl ads that year. So I was on national television. I ended up singing with Broadway Cares, meeting Mayor Bloomberg, like lots of very glamorous and cool things. But I was still a waitress at a restaurant in Times Square. So, it was a juxtaposition of like putting on my crown and people think that I'm like some kind of a celebrity and everyone was asking for my autograph. And then I would go to work that night and like serve people lasagna. But if that's not New York, I don't know what is. To the trash we go. I just went to Mallory's wedding this spring. We got brunch a couple of weeks ago when she happened to be in my area for vacation. Long time, forever friendships are from the Miss Virginia and Miss New York organizations. If you think that pageant girls are just catty and competitive and it's all about what they look like in a swimsuit, then you have been misinformed by the media that likes to make everyone angry about everything. Gonna go put these away in the kids' bathroom. No! So I'm gonna finish putting all this stuff away. I just organized it into like piles. Now I need to go to the other rooms and actually like put things where they're supposed to go. I'm gonna sing you the very first talent song I ever did for Miss Virginia Beach. It's called O Mio Babbino Caro. I've mentioned before that I have been trained classically my whole life, so you're gonna get a taste of that today. But first, let me get this put away.
O mio babbino caro, mi piace bello, bello, fondare in Porta Rossa a comperar l'anello. Sì, sì, ci